As usual, I'll roll a d5. Where's my d5? Here it is.
Fitting to be able to get to
It
use
rolled off the table. A 3, so that would be Chris. What happened last time?
I wasn't here last time.
Listen here.
Okay. Jake? Yeah.
I wasn't here last time either.
Okay. Back at the top, Wayne.
All right, now, well, the biggest thing, of course, is how we ended it, but what happened before that, I gotta remember. We went... Did we go... Was that when we went to investigate the goblins and found out that... Was it Squints or Ned that's probably not coming back? We sent one out. We had some hobbits sent for reconnaissance. Was that the last time? Or am I thinking too far back?
No, that's the last time, yeah.
Yeah, we sent some hobbits out for reconnaissance on to scope out the goblin fort in the ruins, and we think they may have gotten taken and are not going to come back. What else happened? We did some exploring. Found the dragon's lair. We went hunting for goblin. We were a little too scared to go to the dragon's lair, but we kind of scoped it from a distance and decided, hey, we're gonna lead a track from the dragon lair to the goblin base and see if maybe we can trick the dragon, or can we have the dragon follow a trail to, hey, it's a bunch of goblins for easy pickings. So we did that. And we hunted some goblins, tracked some goblins down, I believe. Created a false trail. And then on our way home, let's see, we heard some horrible sound of maybe a dragon in the distance, and we kind of hauled it, trying to get back to Brandonsford before goblins and or dragon or both or something else could come upon us. And we had our captive goblin. We were able to take him to the Matham house, and where the Matham, I guess is that his title, was able to translate the goblin. And let's see, it was like Hogboon was the name of the Goblin King, maybe. And we learned all that, and then that following morning, horrible sounds approaching, and we think the dragon is upon us.
All right.
Dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun.
I think that this is the 16th because you camped. I've got the 17th day. Since you left Perrinval, and your arrival in the Evening Lands. And so we'll just start back at the morning. When you wake up, after you've returned, you scouted the dragon's lair, you created a false trail, and then you started to hear roaring sounds behind you and fleeing goblins in the woods. And then you made it back that evening, and it's now the next morning.
Apologies, I had some business to attend to.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, absolutely.
But I was in character.
Oh, I can't. I think we had Edward with us.
Can I assume? Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, can I assume that I'm back to full health? I don't remember if we covered that recently, but I was only at 16 out of 19 max hit points last time I checked.
Yeah, by now, sure. Yeah, you'd be at max health, and everybody else, unless somebody got down really low or something, let me know. But otherwise, you can assume you're at max health.
Nope.
All right, and then the sun rises like any morning in Brandonsford. You begin to awaken in Brandon's house and prepare for the day when all of a sudden you hear a shrill scream, and then the sound of many different voices screaming. And then you hear and some kind of loud percussive sound as something shakes the ground. And then there's a screeching roar that shatters the morning air. And you already see smoke coming up on the several buildings apart on the other side of you where the wall would be. You see smoke, and you can hear screaming, and you can see hobbits running outside.
Well, out we go.
Grab her magic sword and we have 2 bottles of wine sap.
The sword, I'm wearing the sword for sure.
God,
Yeah,
okay.
for sure.
Dragon
You
wine,
grab that sword. Where's the
wine.
booze?
Yeah.
So where do you all go?
Towards the danger.
Towards it. Okay. Very well.
At least that's where I'm going. I mean, the first thing I'm doing is going out the door.
Yeah, sure. As soon as you open the door to Brandon's house, there's a scene of absolute chaos and confusion. You can see smoke rising up in buildings, like I said, closer to the wall. You can hear screaming all around you, and you can hear people.
Item 1 is to bring some order and to turn this volume down. Hold on.
Yeah, you should totally do that. You go to the music note. You have a master volume.
Yep. Okay, I got the crowd panic, a separate layer.
It's a global volume control.
Yep. Bring some order to the chaos and just shout at the top of my lungs, and rally as many hobbits to the defense as possible, like right now. I assume there's already some squads that have been ready to go, but I'm just going to get everybody to stop panicking as best I can.
Yeah, in fact, in the morning air, you actually hear the horn that's on the top of the town hall again. And it seems like what hobbits that could be organized are already trying to.
Okay. Well then, so there's nothing that I actually need to do in that regard then? It's all well in hand?
If you head towards the chaos and where the bounders are running, you see that there are hobbits running around in every direction. There are collections of water points. Fire brigades are trying to put out fires in houses that have ignited in flames. You can see that the wall that was built 1,000 years ago has shattered in a place, and stones have flown everywhere. Some buildings have been shattered and destroyed, others are on fire. There's a giant amphibian creature that's probably some 40 feet long and 15 feet wide. A big fat black body just slithers on the ground like a giant fat alligator. And you can see some of the bounders collecting around it, unsure. And then you can actually see Knob and Squints. You can see them actually with the bounders, like not sure exactly what to do.
That is quite a contrast between Knob and Squints, let me just say.
It's so perfect.
This huge amphibian is quite a ways away from you across from the square. It just seems to be wreaking havoc, tearing down buildings, crashing through hobbits' abodes. And,
all right,
yeah.
Let's set about it then. Shall we coat some arrows in this sleepy dog and shoot it?
Yeah.
Do we think arrows will work? I mean, let's try it.
Well, let's try it. Let's see what happens.
What's the worst can
The
happen?
other thing I can think of is try and lob in a whole bottle down his gullet somehow, or
Sure. Well, that would mean getting close.
yes,
vial.
that's the dangerous part.
So you're gonna
Little
try
vials
to.
Let's
Can-
try the faraway idea first.
And and how are you doing it? I want to be clear. So this is narrative first, okay? We're not.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So
I
we're
understand.
not.
Well, we're dipping the arrows in the liquid. We have 2 vials worth of liquid. I think that's more than enough to dip a couple arrows and see if there's any effect.
All right.
If it gets into his blood, maybe it'll act fast.
Yeah.
But what's the liquid again?
Lobbing in his mouth is more
It's
desperation if we
it's
get
this
too
magical,
close.
magical, very potent tree sap that we collected from a grove full of satyrs that were partying.
I'll say 2 archers can roll to hit.
Are there only 2 archers?
Alright,
Who's the best archers among us?
not me.
I missed.
I'm -1.
Missed. Okay.
I'm also at -1.
Sure, it's going to be Ben.
Yeah, I got a +1. Like,
Alright.
hand me that bow.
1 second.
I have a bow. Take it. In fact, I don't think you ever gave it back to me.
Nice.
I don't think you don't need to. Oh, nice.
All right. That.
I'm trying to roll on the board right here, but I can't get a dice to go out
Yeah,
electronically.
it's not a natural 20, but it's a 20.
Okay, Ben. An arrow flies true and hits into its hide and simply shatters. It seems like you're unable to penetrate its hide.
Okay, so down the gullet it must
Down
be.
the gullet it is, but
All right. How do you all do it?
And-
Meanwhile, it's going to take its turn.
Can we
It comes
can
over
we
here.
find a livestock of some kind and bait it, like a sheep or a cow, and then douse it in this liquid and then bait it so it has to it wants to eat it.
I mean, I don't know. I think the best chance is getting a full bottle down his throat, right? I mean, we can douse it. Dunking a soggy pig might not do as much as drinking the stuff.
Well,
I don't know. It's worth a shot.
Yes, I can go in if someone and just provide cover briefly. If someone wants to try to run in and throw it over my shoulder or something like that.
Just to go back to Jake, Warden, you do find some livestock, some sheep nearby.
Okay. I'd like to cautiously use about half of the bottle and douse it over the sheep so that the sheep's wool is covered in the syrup.
Okay, I'll say that basically with the arrows is 1 bottle. You have 1 bottle left. All right, so you've got a sleepy potion doused sheep.
Okay. And
It's a
then
sheep, so it's woolly. It's like soaking a rag, right? It's
Yeah,
really
yeah.
good with the stuff, right?
and then I'm going to place it in a very vicarious place where the dragon will clearly notice it and
Okay, here's.
think it a tasty snack.
Do we need to break this thing's leg so it can't run away from the dragon? It
Tie it up.
sounds bad, but we just
Really,
say,
like,
no, it's just gonna
hog
run
tie
the
it.
other direction,
I
right?
think it
We
would-
could just hog tie it. We don't need to break his legs.
Okay.
Yeah,
We don't.
just-
I'm
not
just thinking
cruel.
expediency, right? You know?
We're already sacrificing it. I don't think we need to
I
be
don't
cruel
like
about
this,
it.
but it's
So-
I'm in a hurry. Okay.
Warden, you can move your token. I'll say that you can make it all the way up to here to this kind of collection of stuff. You know, these
Right.
these bounders. They just saw that. By the way, you see this when it gouted flame and sulfurous yellow smoke out of it. You saw it kind of like bulge. This lizard, and you saw several things. First of all, there are wooden spikes sticking out of it in places because you all had them stick up spikes against the wall, and so in those places there's smoke pouring out of those wounds. Secondly, you can actually see that its gullet expands around its thick hide, and it has as its gullet kind of burps into this almost bubble and it swells up. It actually separates into fleshy parts, kind of like one of those lizards, right? And then it just and it belches forth this combination of like a black magma and then like a fireball that just like douses a place in fire, and acrid yellow smoke fills the air. Several hobbits were obviously incinerated, and a house was destroyed when that happened.
So here's an idea.
Go ahead.
If we can use the sticks already stabbed out of it as an anchor point to restrain it in a way it can't expand, it might not be able to vomit magma. Because if it needs to expand and bulge out to release, then we can just try to refrain it from being able to do that. And that might be...
So we get a bunch of hobbits with whatever they can find left over of those pikes and bring them in and just run at it from the flanks.
And the goal is to try to keep it from expanding, like have a whole rows of hobbits.
I mean, you say it's already used its own weight to essentially stab itself with those things, and we just need to put a bunch more around it so that no matter where it moves, it runs into something.
Okay, yeah, like
I mean, it's going to require a lot of brave hobbits, but we don't have to come at it from the front to do it.
Knob is here. Do you say that in character?
Yes.
Okay, Knob is like, all right. Knob is obviously terrified. You heard him. Everyone grab the pikes at the walls and gather them up and hem it in as best you can.
And I draw the sword of Sir Brandon.
It'll take.
Hold it high above my head.
Meanwhile, Warden sets the sheep down. I'll say that you made it up here and that there's a sheep here. There's a sheep there. Poor sheep. And I'll also say anybody else can attempt something else as well. It'll take 2 rounds for them to get the poles from outside and bring them back to try to hem in the dragon. The bounders flee.
We're melee distance, of course, all of us. So,
well, just what do you want to try to do? Like, what's the plan? So we got a sheep. We got the bounders going to try to get stuff to try to hem it in and keep it from moving around. Any other ideas or tricks?
I'm trying to think of taking some cloth, wrapping around the arrow, and dipping it into some of the
Would a
lines.
sling be any easier to throw, like a vial with? I mean, a full jug is not going to throw well with a sling, but I don't know if there's a way to...
What was apparent to you is that no normal blade or arrow can pierce this thing's hide.
No, I was thinking it's going to have to be an aimed shot, getting in its mouth.
You're going to try to get in its mouth. All right, yeah. Do you all want to prep arrows and see if you can try to get it in its mouth in case this doesn't work out with the sheep?
I think
that might be the best. That might be the best option. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then
Dump
lastly,
some rags in a
it's either that, or we put it all on one. Or we put it all on one roll of the dice and try to get the whole vial in there at once.
All right.
I mean, that's
down to one roll.
So, Tharnlin, what's Tharnlin doing?
well, I was going to use a battle axe, but it's very obvious we can't pierce this thing with any normal blade.
Right.
But if we can get him to open his, he's got to open his mouth before he can do that belch.
Well, yeah, can I attack toward the mouth, even though it's dangerous in itself?
Yeah, you could attack the mouth.
I'll do it. I can't try to roll.
Yeah.
I'm trying to click the D20 right here.
Some rags and try and soak up as much so we don't at least try and get one in and before you wasting the whole bottle. I think my sling will maybe be any better.
The trick, I would say the trick is we all attack the mouth at the same time. Some of us ranged and some of us melee. Just like I'd like to be doing it from the corners, I guess.
Sure. Okay. And sorry, Thornland, Dave, you said you're trying to roll a D20.
Yeah.
Those
and I can't look it up on here.
Yeah, no, those are showing up for this.
I'm trying to click it, but it's not working me. It's not. You're rolling dice from me that way.
Dave, you're just
Is
lagging.
It available?
He's lagging.
And the D20. Yeah, I'm trying to click the D20. I'm not. It's not.
My screen is filling up with D20s.
Let him shoot the 20.
That's true.
Dibs, that was the best one.
You're just lagging. You can't see it because it's just lagging out for you. You're rolling D20s. But I can tell you what you rolled, but also I know there's lag and delay. All right, here we go. So, Edward, roll a D6.
3.
Boy, this is a challenge. Okay.
6. The dragon goes first. The first thing I'm going to do is see if the dragon takes the bait. It has to.
Okay, I totally missed.
Poor Dave.
Poor Dave.
Y'all let me know, if he comes back. Okay. The dragon, you see a knowing look in its eyes. It approaches the sheep. It completely ignores it and starts slithering towards you all. And it's going to try to attack. It gets 3 attacks, but from where it is, it's going to just try to do its breath attack. Now, this is when you can try to attack. Okay, so it's probably going to get the breath attack out, but you can see it start to go like and swell up, and you can try to attack its mouth if you want.
Yeah.
This is the only shot. Oh boy.
That was a miss.
I wasted my good roll. 17.
Hey.
That was a hit. All right.
Okay, I rolled a 16 natural, which that's a +2, I believe, overall, because the sword is a +1. Plus,
Yeah.
I think it gets an additional bonus for what it's trying to do right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you can...
So, there's an 18 a hit.
18 is a hit, yeah, and you can roll damage and add your strength and a +3. And let's see, how much damage did you do?
That's
the shot.
only 5.
I missed.
Oh, you missed. I'm sorry, Ben, you hit.
Oh, I hit. Yeah, I'm hoping that the wine sap does it because I'm just throwing a sling with a soaked rag, so I don't know if that's actually going to do damage.
Okay, yeah, you throw it in its
full.
gullet. I'm going to say that it takes half of the effect of the wine sap because only one of you hit. So what that's going to do is it's going to miss every other round. So the next round, you see it like swallow it, but it has no effect yet. And anyways, let's see. So I got 5 from Edward. Is anyone else attacking?
Did we get another attack?
Did you already attack? I wouldn't have seen it.
I rolled a 3. That was like the first one to attack.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Did you roll for me earlier?
I can if you want me to.
Just go, because I can't seem to do it. But maybe you set it up here, but I lost connectivity for a second. Yeah, I can't get the dice to roll on
No, yeah, they roll, Dave. So every time you roll, it's showing up dice for us. It's just lag. It's just lag. Okay, so how much damage does your weapon do?
It's a D8. I can let me do it because me do, as my kid would say. He was young.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh, max damage, nice.
So
Did it do it? I can't see
You're
it.
aiming for the mouth, right?
Yeah.
Let's see here. It says...
And it should be a +1 because it's strength modified.
Awesome.
Yeah, +1, 15 strength. So
attack rolls on the mouth are a -4.
All right.
It is a 18, so it actually, would not hit if you're attacking its mouth. I think probably you try to get into its mouth, but this thing's up high, and you have to jump up, and it ends up hitting into its hide. You notice when you hit the hide, it seems to have no effect at all, except for Edward, where it does seem to pierce its hide. Okay, so it's got 8 damage, and something happened to its... something went in its mouth, so let's see what happens with that later. It's its turn again, and it's going to move. Oh, hey, hold on just a second.